What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hoops and Football. I am Shannon. So we're doing another draftee, and this one is Sam Cummings coming out of South Australia. So I've gone with him. I think he probably is going to fit the Richmond style as well. Obviously, we'll have a conversation about it as we go through. I've got three different things to speak about. I've got Carl Toomey I've got Carl Toomey's quote from the AFL website. I've also got rookie me or centre rookie me, as well as I went and got a bit of Zero Hangers profile words of what they've rated Sam Cummings and some of the things that he does well, and some stats from his games at under 18s. So Sam Cumming is a 186 centimetre mid/forward. He plays for the under 18s at North Adelaide. He's ranked 12 in Carl Toomey's draft. Now, obviously, that's a bit different because there's 3 or 4 players that are academy. So if you were to take that away, he technically does get into the top 10 as a player. So Richmond do have technically right now we have pick 2 and 3, which will probably get pushed down a bit more. Academy players get picked up generally. I've seen some mock drafts where our pick 4 or third pick in the end gets pushed out towards 7 and 8. So it's not too far off where Sam will be. So we'll just go with that. But I'll read off what Carl's written down of his rankings. So it says Cummings' season has ended early with a shoulder injury, but it was at least not before an exciting South Australia pushed himself up the board with a run of excellent games. Cummings is a midfield/forward, or half forward actually as well, so not just a pure forward. He was able to mark well above his head and has some different elements to his game, as well as a robust and how he attacks the contest. He's a big game as well as he's had big games while he kicked 3 goals performance with 21 disposals for his seniors for the North Adelaide to stamp his claim as a potential very early selection. And then I went and did some more. I think this was rookie me as well, and it says he's got an elite penetrating kick, which forward to centre is quite damaging. His contested work is excellent, and he's a hard matchup one-on-one because of his ability to mark over his head. So he was rated slightly, I think it's to Isaac Heaney, because of the ability to go forward and kick goals, but also be quite good as a midfielder, sort of giving off a little bit of a Harvey Langford from the D's profile at the same time, where he's a really good midfielder, but because he can go forward and with that overhead marking ability being quite excellent and kicking, it makes him a lot hard to keep an eye on. And then on Zero Hanger, so I'm giving credit to Zero Hanger here, the talented mid/forward who's firmly considered as a first-round selection this year. Cummings played in all 4, I think it's Crow Eaters wins, averaging 17 disposals, 3.3 inside 50s, 3.3 marks, 3.3 tackles, 1 goal per game at the Carnival. Then it says that run followed up as a bright start of the Sandful under 18s with the Roosters, with Cumming as a high-impact half forward. He would roll forward in most recent matches at the level, booting 4 goals and seeing him feature in the side's best in 5 of his appearances. So it shows you that he can actually float forward really well. He says he's becoming a really explosive as he's put himself in a good performance to launch Cummings' North Adelaide coach. So he got the coaches backing him, saying how well he's exploded into the last while. Obviously, he did do his shoulder, so he has been out. So a lot of the highlights are a bit delayed that I will be showing you guys by about a month. But I think he'd be a really good combination. He's not super hot. He's not super tall, so he's not the typical 190 plus, which the game seems to be going that way. Where you don't need as many of those big midfielders. You need that sort of middle height, and your midfielders need to be dual talented, which is what we have. So with Richmond, he'd be playing along Taj, Sam Lawler. Obviously, once those guys get to that 50 to 70 games, you can work out whether he needs to be a forward full-time or a midfield full-time, or you can do the whole, he can swap with the Sam Lawler or Taj Houghton or a Smiley, who are all capable of going forward and kicking goals. And one thing I do like about him is he's strong at the core, very strong core where he doesn't go down to ground very easy. His kicking is very elite as well. and obviously the overhead marking, which is a massive one, as we saw what Sam Lawler is kind of like with his ability to mark over the head. And I think, in my opinion, you can never not have enough of that as elite mark overhead players, because with how young we are as a Richmond side, we tend to blast the ball into the forward line. If he's going to be resting forward, then every now and then it's good to have those players that can just mark overhead and deal with it. So, look, I'm definitely all for him going for Richmond. He is a South Australian, so that's probably the one thing that I do have my concerns about. Because I know it's not everyone does it, but you do need to take that into account before drafting somebody. Are you concerned that in 3-4 years' time they're going to want to go home factor, and you go and put all this effort into this midfielder who seems like will be a pretty good freaking player, going off all the reports. I know it's top 12, but it's been, five of the top 10 players are academy or rucks, unique players. But I just want to make sure that you guys understand that the interstate thing, which is this year is more heavily dominated towards non-Victorian states. So that's a thing you got to take into account as well. So with Isaac with Sam being rated down into the 12s, that's where I'm more for Richmond drafting him, but doing the whole trade away one of your early first rounds and then slide back a little bit more, so you can get, we can still get Cummings, and you could still get a Josh Lindsay or a Sam Grill and maybe a Hargraves Hibben or Farrell. So there's a couple other players you can do at once. So it's not going to be, you might not even have to use that pick 3 or 4 on him straight away. So, right, guys, let me know what you think of Sam Cummings, if you would draft him, and what you do like about him for Richmond. So stay safe and go Tigers.